Richie, the point of us catching up today is to chat about your time in Europe and the amazing stuff that you achieved on your journey to supercars. Can you tell us about how the decision came to focus your life in that direction?
Initially, I was a massive supercar fan, and then it must have been around 2007 when I first went to car racing, and it was in a Formula car that I naturally just decided, I'll give that path a go. It was right when Lewis Hamilton made his debut in F1, and I just found that very inspiring how he'd gone straight into the McLaren and was doing so well, and I felt like I wanted to give that a crack, and always knew that if it didn't quite work out that I could always come back and race supercars, which is what I ended up doing.
What was life like moving there from New Zealand at the beginning? Where were you, and was it all a bit of a head spin at the beginning?
Growing up in New Zealand, you're pretty sheltered from the rest of the world, especially Europe. And I guess I didn't really understand a lot of what was going on around me at the time. It's sort of only stuff I understand looking back now, but incredible experience to have the chance to go over there and to do that.
Talk us through the pathway from that point on, because you achieved some amazing stuff on your rise up through as high as GP2.
My first 3 years went perfectly, basically. Yeah, won the F4 Championship, won the F3 Championship, and then I'd won a race in GP3 on my debut at the end of the year when I won F3, and then went straight from that year into the Formula Renault 3.5, which at the time was more popular than GP2 or what is F2 now. So all the drivers were going from there to F1. So to be at that level in only my third year over there, basically like everything had gone perfectly in those first 2 years and a bit, and then unfortunately had a back injury which put me out for a whole year, and I think that's really what closed the door on F1 for me, because by the time I'd recovered from that back injury, the source of funding that I had was no longer there. I'd actually decided I wanted to stop racing after 2013. So I'd come back to New Zealand, I enrolled in university, got bored on my textbooks, and just thought that was it. And then a week before the first GP3 test, I had the opportunity to go over there and do the first test, which kind of caught me off guard a bit, because obviously I wasn't really preparing to go racing again, and then turn up to drive car number 27 with no sponsors on it. Probably wasn't really rocking up to be a favourite to win a championship or whatever, and then we got on the podium in the feature race at the first round, and we were second in the championship the whole way through the year until the last round. And then off the back of that season ended up in GP2, which was also pretty last minute. We won Monaco, I think, in the third or fourth round.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool to win there, and only one step below F1. And sort of, you feel so close, but at the same time, it's so far away from F1. We were pitted right outside the Ferrari garages, and you're putting your helmet on, and there's like Sebastian Vettel's car right there, and yeah, you feel like so close. But I was on a junior team with Esteban Ocon. I was teammates with Valtteri Bottas, raced against Carlos Sainz, Pierre Gasly. Sometimes I look back and I wonder if it's a good thing or a bad thing to have a taste of what it's like to be that close and then not make it, or if you're better off to just not have known what it's like.
So you say it's sort of a little bit bittersweet to get that close to it, but then when you rolled into the Grand Prix, do some of those memories come flooding back a little bit when you race at Albert Park and you see the famous Ferrari brand again?
Yeah, I think now that I'm a little bit older, it's a little easier for me to, I guess, cope with the FOMO that I've had from not making it. Now that I'm way outside of that age range where you'd be getting into F1, but yeah, from sort of my early to late 20s, it was a little harder to deal with that FOMO. But now I'm seeing new drivers that are 18 years old and I've never heard of them racing F1. So it's that phase of my life is well and truly gone, and enjoying the opportunity I've got to race in supercars, so I can now finally go to a Grand Prix or watch a Grand Prix without that, without the FOMO being that strong.
Yeah, I think that's pretty understandable. Well, I'm glad that we've got you here in Supercars, mate. It's pretty cool watching you do what you've done, winning Bathurst 1000s and now a bona fide Penrite racing star. So congratulations on everything that you achieved and good luck for the Grand Prix.
Thank you.